So I would love to know where everybody is tuning in from and how long you've been in the industry.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, go.
My name is Elizabeth Camacho. I'm coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, and I have been in the industry, for like 18, 19 years now. I mean, I started in the beauty portion of the industry and kind of shifted into aesthetics in that time, but I've been here for a while.
Nice. What inspired you to start DermaJEM?
Well, I felt like there needed to be a middle ground, right? I felt like there was a lot of really, really great equipment out there, but it was financially inaccessible to a lot of estheticians. I'm sorry, my tablet keeps doing that. And then, there was, you either had two options. It was either, pay a down payment on a house for a piece of equipment and pray to God that you'll have the clientele for it, or buy something really, really cheap and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, or maybe it'll work for a month or 2 months or whatever. But there, you have no support, you have no training, you have no education, you have no one to turn to when you need help. So I wanted to found DermaJEM or start DermaJEM because of that. So I wanted to have a place where estheticians could find, you know, relatively inexpensive or, a little bit less of an investment than a down payment on a house equipment that they could trust, that they had a resource that provided them with education, that they had a place to come and learn and be able to add technology and compete in this market. And typically, the clients and the estheticians that we service are solo practitioners, right? So most of them are moms, some of them are not, which is fine too. They're starting their careers, they're pushing themselves, they're owning their own business, and there's so much to that. Being able to be competitive in this industry does mean you do have to invest in your business, and investing in something that you can get paid back or make your money back quickly is a lot more possible versus something that it's going to take you many, many years to pay back. So
Totally. I love that. I must
yeah.
say I am obsessed. I love the machine.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you love it. It's like it's a labor of love, and it's like it warms my heart every time somebody says they love it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Maria.
Of course. Well, let's get started because I
All
love
right.
scalp treatments are so popular, so beneficial, especially after like postpartum or like when we had talked about if you're stressed and all this other stuff. And
Yeah.
people, I mean, it's such a huge moneymaker and so many people need it.
Yeah. And the really interesting thing, as I have even learned throughout this journey of developing this treatment, is how much scalps are similar to our faces, right? And the skin that we have on the rest of our body. It is skin, right? It just happens to also grow the hair on top of our head. So, but it is extremely, extremely, popular. It is something that is super, super, like delicious. And it's also the way that we kind of propose this treatment, it can be a fully standalone treatment, but it definitely can be a beautiful add-on as well,
Heck
because
yeah.
your clients are laying down, they're already there. You can treat the crown of their head, no problem, while that mask is on their face, honey. Go ahead and make an extra 100, 200, $300. Why not? you know and
Bring on the add-ons.
it's the same amount of time that you would spend in the facial anyway. You're just adding value and adding dollars. And that's what's nice about treatments like this, that are kind of a little bit more outside of what we normally do, kind of adding something new, fun, and exciting. And it is a big topic both in the consumer space as well as the professional space. So we have a lot of people that are offering the service. I have even stylists that are offering the service for clients like me. I have extensions in my hair, and I get buildup just because of the extensions, the wefts in my hair. So it's really nice in between, like when I take the extensions out or when we do move up appointments, to be able to get a really nice exfoliation there. It feels really good, and it is just amazing. So if you want to, should I go ahead and get started with the PowerPoint?
Yes. My favorite question, since this is the
Tell me.
money-making esthetician, how much
Yes.
do we charge?
Okay. So that's really going to vary obviously on the area, but depend, and also how you're going to pose the treatment, right? We all know how popular head spas are now. So offering something that is simple, you could price simply like as an add-on, maybe $125, $150. If you're going to do, maybe if you have access to like a shampoo bowl or maybe like a treatment mask that your client can go back home in, or do an oil, like an oil scalp massage, or maybe do some microcurrent on the scalp or some high frequency on the scalp, where you make it more of a treatment, then I think you could charge anywhere in the realm of $150 to $200. And then when we're talking about, maybe a stylist, or if you're in a salon atmosphere where you can shampoo, do a beautiful shampoo, do, a scalp review of what their scalp looks like before you start, then go ahead and do the Scalp Renew, infuse, do some red light therapy. If you have a Soluma, that's a fabulous option, especially the Soluma Restore for hair growth. Massage in a beautiful serum and send them home with some beautiful post-care spray for their hair, for hair growth. I mean, you could charge $250, $300 for something like that. And
Yeah.
people love it, because who does not love to get their head scratched, their scalp played with? Like it, they love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Love that. So let's get into the PowerPoint. I'm so excited.
Let's get into it. So I'm going to go pretty quickly because it's a long PowerPoint and I don't want to be in that like PowerPoint forever. So it is going to go fast, but I will be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Okay. So can you guys see that?
There will be a replay.
Yes. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
All right. So the DermaJEM Scalp Renew. So like we were talking about earlier, scalp care is skin care, and taking care of the scalp is going to help you create an environment for hair to grow. It's going to help nourish the skin that protects your skull from trauma and infection. And when we think about a healthy scalp, we're going to look for clean, hydrated skin, good blood circulation, balanced oil production, and an absence of inflammation, itching, or flaking. Okay. The hair growth begins below the skin. So by the time your hair is protruding from the follicle, it's already been formed. So for this reason, follicular activity, both hair creation and hair growth, requires the involvement of your scalp and its structures. So to create an optimal environment for your scalp, and hair follicles need to be kept clean, clear, and not be weighed down by sebum, dead skin, dandruff, or product buildup, which is typically what happens, which is as much as we love to use dry shampoo. So when we're thinking about improving scalp health, we have to think about removing dirt, oil, and debris, removing product buildup, making sure the scalp maintains proper hydration and nourishment. Now, these three things are things that apply to the skin on our face and the skin on our body as well, okay? So that's kind of what I want you guys to take from this, is how similar it is to treat the scalp just like we're going to be treating skin. So quickly, we're just going to go through a couple of scalp conditions that you may see. And you want to, again, think about scalp care like skincare, and you'll start to see those similarities. So just like skin types, we also have scalp types. So you're going to see a sensitive scalp, a dry scalp, oily scalps. And of course, just like skin conditions, we also have scalp conditions that are really similar, or can present themselves the same way they present on the skin. Things like psoriasis, eczema, seborrheic dermatitis, and hair loss, of course. So a sensitive scalp is just like sensitive skin on the face. You want to have that client or have that person who has a sensitive scalp tends to be more red, tends to redden more easily, tends to be more tender, So you want to use gentle cleansers and products that are going to help sustain the scalp's microbiome. A dry scalp can be a product of a lot of things, but one of the things that we see a lot is overuse of heat tools or dehydration. But it can also be a result of more complex scalp conditions, just like dandruff or plaque psoriasis. And of course, mild conditions can be treated when they're related to heat and styling dehydration. An oily scalp. An abnormally oily scalp can cause and can make the hair feel greasy and dirty all the time. You know, if you guys are oily scalp people, you know, and typically oily scalp people have oily skin as well. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes we'll see a drier scalp. It really depends on the person, but typically we'll see both. We'll see those things kind of translate in the same way on the scalp. So most products marketed for an oily scalp, like dry shampoo, don't stop oil production. They're just meant to absorb oil, and that can lead to more layers of product buildup, which is really kind of the antithesis of what we want to do. So just like an oily skin type can be dehydrated, an oily scalp can be dehydrated. And by balancing hydration in that area, then we can rebalance that skin and allow for that scalp, just like the skin, not to overproduce oil. So there are some scalp conditions we have to be aware of. So dandruff, this is one of the best scalp conditions to treat with the DermaJEM Scalp Renew. It's a really mild form of seborrheic dermatitis. We're all familiar with it. Medicated shampoos can be used, and of course, stress and weather can aggravate the condition or cause flares. Seborrheic dermatitis, you guys know this well. You know, we as estheticians sometimes do see clients that suffer from this. It's a very common skin condition. It can affect the scalp or any oily areas of the body, and also areas where hair grows. So eyebrows, for men, it can be the mustache. It can also be right around the nose. On the scalp, it causes a rash that may look darker or lighter in people with darker skin tones and redder in those with lighter skin. It causes an uncomfortable itch, rash, and other symptoms. So one of the things you want to make sure is that your client, if you're going to do a scalp treatment on a client that has seborrheic dermatitis, you want to make sure they're not in the middle of a flare, right? So their flares usually are red, inflamed. You can see a lot of inflammation. When you see a lot of inflammation on the scalp, we are not going to treat it with this treatment. We're going to wait for that inflammation and that flare to start dying down, and then we can treat the excess flakes on the scalp. So scalp psoriasis can also look different on different skin tones. And I stress this because it's really important for us to think of skincare, hair care, scalp care, whatever it is that we're doing for our clients, as inclusive. We want to think about what it's going to look like and how it's going to appear on a lighter skin tone, just like a darker skin tone, because those differences are going to help us really determine what it is our client is suffering from. So reddish or salmon color on lighter to medium skin tones, purple with grayish scales on darker skin tones. And it can present as a single patch, or it can affect the entire scalp. So like other types of psoriasis, what causes is your skin cells growing too quickly and building up into patches. So the type of psoriasis itself doesn't cause hair loss when it's on the scalp, but the aggressive scratching or picking at the spots can cause temporary hair loss. Then we have scalp eczema, and my daughter, when she was a baby, had what they call, it's a form of dermatitis. It's a form of seborrheic dermatitis. My daughter had cradle cap when she was a baby, and people often confuse psoriasis and scalp eczema. So psoriasis usually has a wider scale compared to a scalp eczema. It can also cause sensitive skin patches that can easily bleed when scratched. So you can kind of see there's a slight difference in the two. Now, again, we are not here to diagnose any of these issues, but I do want you guys to have the information so you know when you can and can't treat the scalp. So again, whenever we have any sort of inflammation present, we don't want to go ahead with a scalp renew treatment, because then we would be causing more damage, just like we would on a sensitive skin type, or if we saw this on someone's skin or body and we were going to treat them. So hair loss. Hair loss is very, very, very common. So people born male are more likely to deal with a receding hairline, due to male pattern hair loss, which is a type of hair loss that's specifically related to your genes and male sex hormones. Okay, so it can be a genetic component and it can also be a hormonal component to that male pattern hair loss. People born female can also experience a receding hairline, especially if they have frontal fibrosing alopecia. So this is a progressive hair loss on or near the forehead. So you can see that a bit here. Okay. And I have a little bit of that. We see it a lot with postpartum hair loss. So we'll get it right around the frontal area of the scalp. You'll start to see like the hair getting finer or maybe some hair loss in that area. And of course, other types of hair loss like alopecia areata can be caused by emotional or physical stress, trauma, or systemic illness. Okay. So there are a lot of reasons why we have hair loss. But when we're dealing with hair loss, the first step is assessing and developing a treatment plan for hair loss is to try to figure out what's causing it, right? Both internal and external causes need to be addressed, just like when we're talking about something like acne. You know, when we're dealing with acne, both internal and external causes need to be addressed. So what happens and why is hair loss one of these things that, you know, stress and any sort of trauma, anything that is like, you know, we start losing our hair. Hair is non-essential tissue. So that means your body decides it doesn't need your hair. It's not necessary. So if you have nutritional deficiencies, if they're present, or added stress on the body's going to redirect the cells used to make hair and the energy used to make your hair to fuel other organs, which is what is going to result in hair loss. You'll see this a lot in people who have significant weight loss, people who go through weight loss surgery, all of that stuff. So I had a gastric sleeve and I lost a lot of hair when I had that. So reducing traction along the hair and covering the hair will help, along with treatments to promote a healthy scalp. Circulation is really important and to stimulate hair growth. So let's get into the actual DermaJEM Scalp Renew treatment. So the Scalp Renew is going to be the latest addition to our DermaJEM family of hydro treatments. It's meant to deeply cleanse and exfoliate the scalp and then infuse it with hydrating ingredients. So you're going to create an environment for healthy hair growth. Now, Scalp Renew tips. We just launched these tips and they are specifically made to address and to exfoliate the scalp. They have prongs along with a swirl design that help to lift off dead skin cells, debris, and stimulate blood flow and oxygen to the treated area, which is an essential part of hair growth. You are going to be using the Pore Sweep Maderi Serum. So Maderi serums are our hydro serums. We're going to be using the Pore Sweep, and it has a blend of salicylic acid, willow bark extract, niacinamide, witch hazel leaf extract, tamarind fruit extract, comfrey leaf extract, and green tea leaf extract. So we're going to exfoliate, but also really support the skin. And you can use this serum for an oilier skin type if you're doing a hydro on the face. So oxygen infusion therapy. So oxygen therapy on the scalp helps us to deliver hydrating and stimulating ingredients to the scalp to give us a rush of oxygen and nourishing ingredients to that area of the scalp, which is so important. This also helps to cool and calm the scalp, improve blood flow, oxygen, and the active substances we use inside the oxygen gun help to re-energize the scalp. It helps to reactivate its healing process. And it can also help relieve some of the symptoms associated with other scalp conditions like itching, eczema, or dermatitis. So if you have somebody that's in the middle of a flare, you certainly could just do an oxygen hydration infusion on the scalp to really help them with that itchiness and irritation. We do infuse the Luminous Serenity on the scalp, and this is a hyaluronic acid and aloe vera blend with 4 different essential oils. They're very low percentage of essential oils, so please, most people, even if they're sensitive to essential oils, are not necessarily sensitive to this serum. So there is a blend of ylang ylang, French lavender, clary sage, and myrrh essential oils. So the protocol for the scalp, and we'll do this, the client should arrive with clean hair. You're going to want to separate the section of the scalp you're going to be treating with from the rest of the hair. Then use the scalp tip, place a scalp tip on your DermaJEM device. Depending on the size of the scalp or size of the area that you're going to be treating, you want to measure out 50 to 100 milliliters of pore sweep and add it to the solution jar of your DermaJEM. The amount of product used will depend on the size of the area you are treating. So begin by sectioning the hair in the area to be treated with a disposable comb. Perform a hydrodermabrasion in short up and down motions along the scalp, and I'll show you that when I start the treatment. Once you finish treating the current section, use the disposable comb to separate another section about 0.25 to 0.5 inches in thickness, so a quarter to a half an inch in thickness. And this will depend on the hair density and the area you are treating. Repeat the hydrodermabrasion process using the same technique as before until you've covered the entire area that was separated. And if you're using the element or have an oxygen gun available, add luminous serenity to your oxygen gun, being cautious to avoid overflow. Following the same hair division technique as before, begin applying the serum to your client using the oxygen gun until the entire treated area is covered. Please ensure that you apply the serum directly to the treated area, getting as close as you can to the scalp without touching it to ensure a deep infusion. So continue the treatment until the selected scalp area is fully covered. So contraindications is very, very similar to that of someone that is getting a treatment on the face. So pregnant or breastfeeding, any active infections in the treatment area, a history of skin cancer in the area being treated, and hair transplant, anything less than 6 months from the hair transplant prior to treatment. So products you need are going to be the element. It's what we recommend because it has both options, or that you can also use the Aries or the Flow, your Mederi serums, Pore Sweep and Luminous Serenity, the DermaJEM Scalp Renew tips, and you have the option to use a hair scope if you have that available. So just some before and afters, really quick. This was before Scalp Renew. This was actually that client that I told you that had seborrheic dermatitis. And this was after. She has a significant amount of buildup on her scalp due to the seborrheic dermatitis, but you can see there's a lot more hydration, a lot more nourishment. There's still some buildup there, but that's okay. This was before DermaJEM Scalp Renew, and this was after. Again, you see a lot of removal of buildup, dead skin cells, dry shampoo, all of the things that are going to kind of get in the way of proper hair growth. So you can use this like we were talking about as a prep or an add-on. Scalp Renew treatments can be provided as a standalone treatment. They can be provided as an add-on during a facial treatment. I do it a lot with our Platinum Miami facials because the mask has to sit for 15-20 minutes. So that gives me just enough time to do the scalp treatment. And it also is a beautiful way to prep the scalp before a hair loss treatment like microchanneling with my favorite, the NanoStamp 360, microneedling, mesotherapy, PRP injections, whatever it is that you're going to be using. By removing cellular debris, you're going to create a better environment for the scalp to respond to hair growth. So it's beneficial in both areas. Also, if you have a client that's going to be using something like minoxidil or minoxidil style treatment on the scalp, doing a series of Scalp Renew treatments while they're on their minoxidil treatment is really going to enhance the benefits of that treatment. So Scalp Renew treatments should start around $200+. Your cost per treatment and consumables is $8. Tips are reusable up to 30 treatments. Then we recommend you change them out. We do teach you how to properly disinfect them in between clients. We recommend a treatment every 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the client and their sensitivity. So now we're going to move on to our live demo. These are more details. If you want more details, you definitely can visit our website, www.dermajem.com, DermaJEM with a J, and give us a call, 888-510-0272. And one of the things that I wanted to do for you guys as members of the Money Making Esthetician group, because hello, we're all about saving some money so we can make some more money, is we would like to give you early access to our Memorial Day sale pricing. It is not available on our website, so it's only available by reaching out to us via phone. You would have to call us at 888-510-0272. Now, I know it is 11 a.m. Pacific time. I am on the East Coast, so it is 2:25 my time, but we are available till 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we open at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. We're happy to help you. This exclusive kind of pre-sale situation is going to end on the 10th of May. So this Friday. So you guys have a few days to shop. It's a great time to buy. There are some really amazing savings. Call us so we can give you some more details. All right. Maria, I am done. And hold on one second. Like forward to exit. Okay, thank you. So I hope you guys learned something. I am going to now, I hope you see my screen. Am I still?
No, it's just me now.
Just me now? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So I am gonna quickly set up. So I'm gonna turn off my camera and my microphone for like 2 minutes. Just quickly get my client on the bed, which is my love, Michelle, she is a one of our spot experts here. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. We love her too. And I actually have to take Tatiana here with me. Come say hi, guys. Come say hi to these people. Hello. Hello. This is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. And
Hello,
say hi,
Michelle.
Tatiana. Say hi, Tatiana.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So
the camera is.
it's
so
right
like,
here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi.
So yeah, it moves around when you move around.
Yes.
So Michelle is one of our amazing spa experts. So if you have questions about our devices, or maybe are interested in getting that special before that Memorial Day sale, she's going to be the person, one of the people you're going to be talking to. And then once you make that purchase, you do get training with Tatiana. Tatiana is our aesthetic trainer. So you do get some one-on-one training with her. And if you have any questions while we're doing this treatment, Tatiana is going to be behind the camera while I'm doing the treatment on Michelle. So please engage with me. I don't want to talk at you. I want to talk with you. So let's talk. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to turn off my camera, get it reset up, and we'll be right with you, starting with the treatment. All right. Do we have any questions so far, Maria?
Not yet. I'm here watching.
Okay.
I put the link in the chat. I would say I have the Aries and I am obsessed. So I think I even have a picture.
I just realized I muted myself. Oh, why are you obsessed?
I have a pic. I just love it. I love the cavitation, ultrasonic, the cold hammer. Let me see. I'm looking. I have a picture. Hold on. Can I put it in here? Ta-da! Look how pretty.
All right, let me swap out the camera so you're not, there we go. Hello.
Hi.
All right, so we're gonna start with the Scalp Renew treatment. You can see I have my element already set up. We already have our Pore Sweep serum in the jar. I am going to kind of sit Michelle up just a hair. That's it, that's good. You're good, look just like that. Okay, lift up your head for me. And then I have a disposable comb here that I'm going to use just to section off her hair. And all I want to do is kind of have a starting point and an ending point. And you don't necessarily need to do this if you're doing the whole head, or if you're doing, it's just nice if you're going to do just the crown, especially with an add-on treatment. It's nice to be able to separate the rest of the hair out. Okay. And guys, as I'm doing this, if you have questions, please let me know. Here are the scalp tips, Tatiana. Will you show those to them? So they come in a box of 4. You're going to have larger tips and smaller tips. The larger tips are going to be for people with less hair density. And the smaller tips are going to be for people with, the larger tips are people with less hair density, and the smaller tips are going to be for people with more dense hair, because you need a bit of a smaller surface area to work on. All right, so we're going to turn Michelle. Can you guys still see that there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my hydro. I have my scalp tip on here. And I'm gonna first prep my wand, make sure I get solution going into my jar. And I know that because I hear that sound. I already have my pore sweep inside the jar. And then I am going to just do some light taps, kind of get the area nice and moistened. And then I am going to just go back and forth. Now my intensity or intensity of treatment, intensity of the suction on the device is a little bit higher than when I use it on the face, because I do want that additional suction. Also, you're gonna see her scalp might get a little bit red. That's perfectly normal. We're really stimulating a lot of blood flow. How does this feel for you, Michelle?
It feels nice.
What does it feel like? Describe it.
Like a cleansing, like a little brush going over it.
Like a little brush going over it.
Yeah,
I have people that usually fall asleep when I start to
Yeah,
do this on them.
pretty nice.
What is it that you say every time I do a treatment on you? It's the best job in the world.
Best job in the whole world.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, any questions out there, guys?
Not yet.
Not yet. Are you guys all bored? Am I boring you?
Not me.
No
you.
questions just yet.
All right. Please ask me questions. Do you want to know more about our devices? Tatiana, do you want to tell them about our Hydro Discovery calls?
Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., I actually have a hydro discovery call where I explain to you the difference between the three of them that we have.
The three different devices that
The
we have.
three different devices that we have, yeah. And it's every Tuesday, as I said, at 2 o'clock Eastern time.
So she was doing one right when we started this webinar. She finished up in about a half an hour. So what can people expect from those calls, Tatiana? Or what's the reason for people to go to those calls or be a part of one of those phone calls?
Because they want to know more about our machines, the difference in between, and also sometimes, it's different with the space that they have, for example, depending on, how much space they have, they want something smaller or something, bigger, depending on what they specialize and everything. So that's the intention.
So we did have some technical difficulties, guys. Do you love that? We had the poor UPS man come to the door. You're welcome. It's live. This is what happens, okay? All right, so now we're nearing the middle of her scalp, and I've been doing this for about 5 minutes, and I'm more than halfway done. So this is why this can be such a great add-on to your services. It really can help your clients get the kind of treatment that they want and really help them get their scalp nice and clean. And how nice is it if you were to get a facial and be able to do this right afterwards, right?
We did have a question.
Tell me everything.
So you're welcome to also turn on your mic as well, or your camera to get like more interaction. But can you do this with the Pro Cell hair in the same appointment?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
So microchanneling, you could do this first. I wouldn't do the oxygen infusion, but you would do this exfoliation first, then use like hypochlorous acid to clean the scalp, and then go ahead and go on with your microchanneling.
How long before you can do this before getting your hair colored? After getting your hair colored?
2 weeks.
After?
Before or after. Yep. So I wouldn't do this 2 weeks prior to a color, or any sooner than 2 weeks prior to a color appointment, or 2 weeks after.
That's a
Only
good
because
question.
that's a really good question. Thank you for asking that question. So with hair color, the issue is not the actual color, right? The issue is going to be the sensitivity on the scalp with the chemicals from the hair color, right? So we're exfoliating that scalp really deeply. So it might make the scalp more sensitive. However, I do have stylists that will use this in an appointment right before they apply a gloss or hair color that's like semi-permanent, that's maybe not as intensive. So you can do it, you know, in those types of appointments at the same time. It's just going to really depend on the sensitivity of the client's scalp. Any other questions?
Showing them all my gray hair.
Michelle wants to know if you guys can see all her gray hair. First of all, ma'am,
It looks blonde.
your hair is beautiful. Your hair is blonde. She's gonna have pink hair when you see her in Las Vegas, I think, right? Are we doing pink hair again?
Yeah.
It's so fabulous. She had pink hair when we were in New York. She's doing it again for you guys in Vegas. And we really are excited to get to meet some of you. So I hope you guys come by our booth. We're gonna be in booth 931. And we're gonna be doing all kinds of demos and in-booth education. We're also gonna have some classes on the Platinum Miami facial. So it's a really great time. So I finished the exfoliation portion of her treatment. And if I'm basing it on my clock on my device here, that took me about 7 minutes, okay? So now I am going to,
I love that.
It's fast, right?
I'm thinking of my offer. I'm like, okay, with every 90-minute treatment, just to introduce this, I'm gonna do like a quick little 7-minute while they're
I
masking.
love it. I love it. Just a quick, and once people feel it, they will totally want to do it.
It
For
felt
sure.
amazing.
So now I'm going in with the oxygen gun, and
270.
we're just gonna go in and infuse. Okay, use our same comb and just go back. Very easy. And this, what does this feel like, Michelle?
It's cold.
It's cold and refreshing, right?
Yeah, feels great.
Yeah.
Can I lay here longer?
Yeah. Yes, you can. All right, guys. Do we have any other questions? Tatiana, you said someone had a question.
Yes, the series asking, I would assume not doing this on a sunburned scalp.
Oh my
And
God, no way.
should you avoid doing this before going to the beach, like being in the sun?
I think it's gonna depend on your client. Now, if your client is gonna go to the beach on a beach vacation, like they're gonna go to the beach for a week to an all-inclusive and be out in the sun and burn like a lobster, which they shouldn't because they're your clients and they should know better. But you know, sometimes they know better and they still do it.
Yep.
So no, I would not do it in those cases. Now, if you're telling me you have a client that's gonna go to the beach this weekend and is gonna go on Saturday with their family, she just has to get herself a hat and make sure that she puts sunscreen on her scalp. You know, make sure she gets a hat that has sun protection, not one of those hats that leaves the top of her head, you know, open to the sun. And there are scalp sunscreens out there, and you can even use regular sunscreen on your scalp. It might make it a little bit greasy, but you know, there are scalp sunscreens out there. Or just use a hat and stay out of direct sunlight. Go up, take an umbrella. All right. I hope that answers the question. And it would be the same thing if I was doing a hydro on the face, right? Like I wouldn't want to do it to a client right when they are about to leave for a beach vacation. But I certainly would do it on a client that has come back from a beach vacation, maybe 2 weeks after being in that sun and with all that sunscreen on their face and all that stuff. It's going to feel really, really good. And you're going to remove all that buildup and gunk. The same thing on their scalp, because I can guarantee you they're not washing their head. They're not worried about washing their head when they're on those vacations. I know I'm not. Listen, I break cardinal hair rules when I'm on vacation.
I have some questions. So
Everything.
Obviously one of the scariest parts is getting a piece of equipment and then being like, how do I promote this? Do you
love it.
give marketing advice? What's the training like? What's the process like?
Well, as far as marketing advice, I mean, we're actually going to be doing some classes in the next couple of months. We offer both classes like this that are free and open to the public, or not the public, but open to all professionals. And then we do offer client exclusive classes. And one of the topics that we have coming up is that, you know, you got this new piece of equipment. Now, how do you market it? And those are classes exclusively for our clients. We also do include marketing materials with your purchase. And you also get one-on-one training with Tatiana. We also have DermaJEM University, which is our online portal. So you go through that. And Maria, you went through that, didn't you?
Loved it.
Yeah, so we go through, it's a very basic kind of course. And then you see Tatiana. So at least you have the basics before you go into, you know, full on treatment mode with Tatiana, right? And it really makes your training with Tatiana more efficient. It really allows for you to have more basic information, and your trainings will be more in depth. Tatiana, do you want to talk a little bit more about training?
Yes, you can ask me all the questions you want, and I can tell you everything what I know. Even, you know, I really like to feel comfortable, like for you to be comfortable with me answering all the questions. You do, if it's better if you have a model. You don't have to have a model, but it will be better if you have one, so we can do the treatment on your client, and you know, we can see, and I can tell you if you're doing it right, wrong, maybe the speed.
Techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah, so definitely have a model present. I also agree with you, Tatiana. I think it's essential. So I went ahead and we finished up. Her hair is not greasy. She could go home like this. It's not a big deal. You want to suggest that she wash her hair, wait to wash her hair until tomorrow. Okay, just kind of let things settle down. But you do want the client to come in with clean hair. So you want them to have washed their hair the night before this treatment. So I am at 10 minutes and 30 seconds here of time that it took me to do this treatment. So it is 100% an easy add-on. And I think you can, you know, make some more money in the same service time. Like, have a mask on the skin. You've done a beautiful treatment. Why not add the scalp to this? It really will significantly increase your time and your money intake, because we're adding at least $100 to this treatment just for this, you know? I mean, think about how you always want to think about how to add dollar value to your services without adding more time, because time is money, right? So we don't want something that's super time consuming, but we do want something that's going to help us make some more dollars, right? I mean, this is the money making esthetician, right?
Yeah. And the mask is on the face for 10 minutes anyways.
Yeah. And there are sheet masks, for instance, that are 15 and 20 minutes. So you could do more. You could add some red light therapy on the scalp. You could do some high frequency. You could do some microcurrent on the scalp. You could do quite a lot of things while that mask is on the face.
So this helps stimulate hair growth?
No, this is going to create a perfect environment to stimulate hair growth, because what this is going to help do is activate circulation in the scalp, stimulate a lot of circulation, remove buildup and debris, and it's going to create an environment that's going to be conducive to healthy hair growth. A lot of times our follicles start to get dormant because there's too much buildup, because there's not enough blood circulation in the area, or because what I was telling you, you don't have enough nutrients in that area. So that is what causes sometimes hair loss. So you can do this in combination with hair loss treatments like microchanneling, or you can just do it to maintain scalp health, because scalp health is going to equal hair health. It's going to help our clients' hair grow longer, faster, and really help them maintain what they have as well.
Should we do packages?
100%. You could do this, one of these treatments every 2 weeks. So if you're doing it with like a microchanneling, like the ProCell or the Nano Stamp, those are going to be, I think, every 2 weeks as well. So you could do one of these weekly or every 2 weeks. It's up to you.
Love this.
All right. So I'm really excited. The other thing that's really exciting about this always is the waste jar, and the waste jar never disappoints. You always find stuff there. I don't know if you can see that.
No, has
No,
to be lower.
hold on. Let me grab my
Here.
phone camera so you guys can see.
Yummy.
But it is the best part. So I love waste jars. They're my favorite. They're a great way for you to resell a service. It is like the proof in your pudding. It is like how you show your clients exactly what you did. It's not this mysterious treatment. It is literally, look at what I did to your scalp, you know? So I think that that's a really significant part of why these types of services and hydro services in general are so popular. If you're doing it right and you're using the right products, that waste jar is your moneymaker. All right.
So
Well, guys,
those that are
What?
just joining a little bit late, I don't know if you guys know this, but our motto for the group for 2024 is don't suffer in silence. So I want to encourage you guys to turn on your mics, your cameras, or put it in the chat and ask all the questions. So like marketing, money, support, all of it. Because Elizabeth and the trainers are here. So take advantage of it.
sorry guys, I stopped my video for a second to move. There we go. Oh, well, look at the mess that we have there. Don't suffer in silence when you have a mess in your office. No, but I think I love that motto. And I think, I personally, we were talking a little bit about this when we started, Maria, about how, difficult it is to be an entrepreneur and to, run a business. Michelle, you're welcome to get off the bed if you want to. But how hard it is to be an entrepreneur, to run a business, and, how lonely it can get and how hard it is to put yourself out there, Michelle, what do you think?
Are we going back for more?
So I love doing treatments on Michelle.
I
Michelle
know. Oh
is
my God,
always,
it felt so good. I feel 10 years younger.
I love it. Say less, girl. Done.
I'm not gonna suffer.
You're not suffering in silence. There you go. That's it. But yeah, sharing your experiences, your thoughts, a lot of times, and I love that part of this group, how sometimes, even if it's anonymous, just sharing, that you're having imposter syndrome, or that you're having anxiety, or that you're suffering from, a flare up of your depression, like all of those things are things we all go through. So I think it's really good that there's a space and a safe space for us to talk about that,
I just feel like it could be so helpful. Like when we did an anxiety and depression post, and everybody was like,
yeah,
I did this and I got on that. And it was just like, you sometimes feel guilty for having those things.
Yeah. And you shouldn't.
Like, no.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why I named this the money making esthetician is because I really want to, we have all kinds of people, but we do have a lot of ladies in the group. So I want people to get comfortable with numbers. And there's nothing wrong. There's this
stigma.
My
God, I love that.
There is
such a stigma.
Like, you're just in it for the money. And it's like, well, we're here to support ourselves.
Well, not just that, yes. What's wrong with being in it for the money?
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
I don't see the issue. Look, none of us got into this career because we didn't want to make money. Yes, a lot of us had other inspirations. Yes, we had other reasons why we wanted to help people. We wanted to change people's lives. We wanted to help people be more confident. We wanted to heal. We felt that a connection, whatever your core reason is, does not affect the fact that at the end of the day, you need to make money. Guess what? Oh, we need money to live. I also think about, sometimes when I think about my why and why I do this, I think about you guys, and I think about the esthetician, and I think about what having a machine can do for somebody's business and how it can change their business, or how it can, for me, I think about the mom like myself who maybe is trying to find something new because their daughter, I have a daughter, or their son is growing up and they want to put them into an activity, but maybe their finances are tight and she needs to find another way to be able to make more money, right? And that could be what's paying for her daughter's dance lessons or the son's baseball, 100%. It's not like there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. We need money. We need money to do everything that we do.
And $100 in 10 minutes is what?
It's a win.
Yeah.
I mean, I always kind of tell people, and something I like to kind of break down, and I would love for you guys to do this exercise if you're considering one of our devices, is kind of look and sit with your current clientele, right? And think about what you can charge for one of these services. And maybe not just a scalp, think maybe a facial, a hydro. Think about what you can charge for that, right? And then do the math, right? Think about how many services of those you could do a week, right? Let's say you work 4 days out of the week, right? And you can do one service every day, and you're going to be charging $200 for that service. That's an extra $800 a week.
It's a lot of money.
So it's a lot of money. And also it starts to make that cost of the device not seem like so big, right? Because it really isn't. You're going to start making money on the device at our price points pretty quickly. I'll never forget last year, we did this really big collaborative class at the Las Vegas show. And after the class, I had an esthetician come up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I want to come talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, so exciting. Come on, tell me." Okay. She was like, I bought your machine last year at this show. And I was like, "Okay, awesome. Thank you. Tell me, how's it going? Tell me everything." She's like, "Girl, I was so scared." And I was like, "Oh my God, why?" She's like, "Because it was my first like big investment. You know, it was my first, like, I mean, you know, I get it. I think about spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on something. I don't just go give my credit card to people, you know, like it doesn't work like that way. I really have to process a purchase like that, you know?"
Yeah.
So she was like, "I was nervous." And I was like, "Oh my God, I get it. Yeah, I would be nervous too. I totally understand. I'd be like, you know, inappropriate language that I'm not going to use here." But you know, that would be me. And she was like, "It paid for itself in a month." I said, "Excuse me? 1 month?" She's like, "It is the best thing I did for my business. It has completely changed my business. It is like," she was just, and it made me so happy. That specifically, that is my why. That's why I do what I do, to be able to do that for someone. And yes, I want to make money. I'm not going to be shy about that. Right. But I really am passionate about helping other women and men that want to do more with their lives, you know?
100%. And what is the warranty?
So the warranty is 30 months. So you get 2.5 years of warranty. Now, just to be clear and transparent, because I don't like confusion, and I don't want anybody to be confused, the warranty does not cover accessories, right? And things like jars and wands for hydro, we recommend you switch them out about once a year. Okay, so that is kind of general maintenance. We do sell the parts, we have them in stock here. And then the tips that come with the device are not the scalp tips. They are our full set of hydro 12 tips. You can see those online on our website. And those are replaceable every 3 to 6 months or 100 to 150 treatments. In addition to that, the scalp tips, like I told you, those need to be replaced about every 30 treatments. The scalp tends to be a little rougher, so it will dull out the tip, and the treatment will lose effectivity if you use them past that. Okay. Yeah. Now, yeah, that's general maintenance. And then as far as the unit itself, you have 30 months of warranty on the unit.
Perfect.
All right. Well, Maria, this was a pleasure. I can't wait for the next one, which is in a few weeks, right?
You guys, we are doing the Miami treatment. Do you want to give everybody a little, I'm going to put.
Oh my God, guys.
But do you
I'm
want
so
to tell
excited.
them? And then how much should we charge? Because this is the money making esthetician, guys.
So how much do we charge for
The Miami facial.
We recommend no less than 300 plus. I have generally estheticians are charging somewhere in the realm of $350 to $450 for the Platinum Miami facial. Now, the Platinum Miami facial is, y'all, it is the thing. Like, when I tell you a treatment that your clients will be raving about, like they'll be calling you in a week and be like, what did you do to my face? Like, when can I do it again? You know, it is a global approach to a treatment, to a skincare treatment. Now, obviously, if we have somebody with lots of inflammatory acne or inflammatory skin conditions, they are not a candidate for treatment. But in general, we're going to be helping treat fine lines, wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, everything in one shot. It is a 60-minute treatment. So again, money-making esthetician. You're going to make $350 in 60 minutes. And that is when you don't do the scalp. If you're doing the scalp, that's a whole nother level of money. Okay, because there is plenty of time to do the scalp while you're doing that platinum myofascial. So it includes hydro, it includes 2 different peels, it includes growth factors that we're going to microchannel in with the NanoStamp 360. It includes also cold therapy. It includes what else? A mask with lots of incredible ingredients. Like, it is literally Bentley Rolls Royce. Okay. And if you think you have clients that won't pay for that service, then you need to rethink your mindset, because if you have it, you can always have aspirational services. You can also charge for these kinds of services, especially even with your current clientele. All you need to do is learn how to market that service in a way that makes them want it. And that just has to do with posting about it. You could even have maybe 2 or 3 clients that are really loyal, that you know will spend the money, maybe do a couple of discounted services for those clients, and start to create content around that and build a buzz. I guarantee you, like I just did one to a friend of mine, and she has a lot of pigmentation, like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation on her cheeks from acne. Her acne is under control, and she had been seeing someone to get facials, but it wasn't like really jiving. And so I was like, let me try this treatment on you, and that way you also can give me your feedback, right? And I texted her the next day, and I was like, how are you doing? How's your skin? And she was like, amazing. Like she's like, I walked into work, and my coworker was like, what'd you do to your face? Like, what happened? And I want to know what it is, because I want to do it. And then a week later, she texted, I texted her to see how she was doing. And she said to me, she goes, my skin is effing amazing. Like,
I love that.
and she was like, I was like, okay, so I'll see you in 3 weeks. And she's like, yes, ma'am. So she's very excited about it. It's one of those treatments, like Barry from, if you guys know Lip Gloss and Aftershave, Barry Eichner. I love him. Love every second of him. He's one of my best friends, and he's local here, so it's great. We get to see each other all the time. But anyway, so I did it on him, and he went to a meeting he had later that day, and he said his friend from across the room was like, texted him like, what did you do to your face? It is glowing. And I was like, okay. So we got the sauce. So it is the sauce, and we're calling it the facial of 2024. If you're going to be in Las Vegas, we have Dr. Alberto Reguiza coming to teach a couple of classes actually in Las Vegas on the Platinum Miami facial. And we're going to talk about the growth factors, the ingredients, the techniques, and all of that. And we're also going to talk about that in this webinar that is exclusive for my money-making girls. So definitely tune in. It is going to be a game-changing treatment, honestly.
I did put the link in the chat if you guys want to register, so you guys get notifications. And of course, everything gets uploaded to our YouTube channel. And the link of that to the website is also on that.
All right. And I am grateful for your time today. Thank you, Maria. And thank you, all of you that have taken the time to take a look at this, even if you're watching it on replay. We appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. And remember that you do not have to suffer in silence, okay?
So
I'm in the group. I'm here to give you my 2 cents as well. So if you need help, definitely feel free to reach out. There's a chat that we have. You're welcome to DM us, directly. I'm happy to help however I can. All right. And we do have financing options available. There is 0 interest financing. There is longer term financing that is, you know, with a chart, with an interest fee, but there are options available if you don't have the cash on hand.
I want to make sure that everybody knows how to contact you, so I did put it in the
Yes.
chat. Is there anything else you would like to add, like contact wise?
You can reach out if for some reason the website works, but for some reason something, you can always reach out to us at info@dermajem.com, or our number, our 888 number is a great way to get in contact with us. And then yeah, you can also start a chat on our website. There's DM us through Facebook or Instagram. If you're not following us on Facebook and Instagram, please do. You get to see me act like an idiot on a regular basis, and it's such a good time. Okay, so so I'm happy, and don't be afraid to put yourselves out there, guys. It's scary, but we got to do it. Okay, that's part of marketing. Okay, we can have a whole conversation about that.
We should actually.
That is a really good topic. We should talk about. All right, y'all. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.